What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing today? I'm not doing any tarot today, maybe later on. Um, I just wanted to get, you know, close and personal with you guys when it comes to like the connection in God. Well, the connection to God and, tarot, how you use it, and how you think and process things when it comes to all this. The energies and all that. Me myself, I am learning a little bit of background when it comes to what I'm doing right now. I'm reading a couple of books, but I'm also in a Bible study group, which is a group where we read the Bible and we break it down and we kind of, I don't know, talk about it. There is many different you know ethnicities there, and me being spiritual, me reading tarot to someone who is a Catholic, I am a sinner. To someone who is maybe a Christian, I am also a sinner, right? In other different religions, definitely I deal with bad things. The thing is that people forget the intentions, right, when it comes to it. But we all know that there's differences, and what you think is right for you, someone else is gonna judge you for that, right? So we're not gonna talk about what's right and wrong, who's sinning, or who is sinning, or if tarot is good or bad. None of that. We're not gonna talk about none of that. We're just gonna talk about how you feel um, when it comes to like the connection to God. If you believe in a higher power, if you believe in Jesus Christ, um, and where you at when it comes to all that, right? Because one of the reasons why I stop reading tarot sometimes is because I get overwhelmed and I feel like I don't want to keep a massive amount of people stuck in relying in tarot, right? Relying in tarot. Like, I don't want that. So, we're going to talk about what's important right now to you. So, let me know in the comments, what do you feel connected to God? Do you think there's a higher power, whether yes or no? And just like Karen said, no judgment. If you don't believe, that's okay. Just come in and give your 2 cents. Ask the questions that, I don't have all this knowledge, but we as a group, we can get together. And I might not be able to answer your question, but maybe somebody here can answer that for you, right? We're gonna rise our vibration, and we're gonna empower ourselves, right? With the connection to God, the universe, Earth, you know, because we're all that, all right? So here we go. Karen says, I believe in God, the Father and Son, Jesus, and Holy Spirit. Yeah, I believe too. Like Wapi's saying, AJ, there's definitely a higher power. Definitely believe in God, because there's so many things that happen that I know I was saved from, and that made me believe even more. That's AJ's testimony to knowing that there's a higher power. Marlita is here saying hello. What's up, Marlita? Welcome back. So yeah, we're gonna get started, right? It's gonna be, again, this is a group thing. So if you disagree with something, let us know, but don't attack or don't judge anybody else if they feel like it's not right. Or even if you think the information I'm giving you, because this is based on what I've experienced, based on what I believe. And I come from a family that is, very religious. And, you know, we're all going to learn, because we're here and we all want what's best for us, right? So let's begin this with, well, let's start. Do you think it's important to be at a higher vibration? Like, do you feel you can stay at a higher vibration, or are you constantly in low vibration, right? Actually, let me just change this because I don't want people to. I'm going to change the color of that. Okay. Let's say this is you. All right. And I'm going to put a face where you're not happy. Well, they look sad. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to put a face where maybe like that. They're not happy. You're not happy. You're not sad, right? You're neutral. Yes, it's important to be at a high vibration, is what Marlita is saying. Karen says, my family, a long line of ministers, including my parents. From time I was a small child, I was called the prophetic ministry, school of prophecy. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so here it is. That's you, right? And okay, this is gonna be your timeline, right? That's your life, right? This is high, high. Just let's do V. Well, I can't write with this tiny little pen. This is low, and that's neutral, right? So this is one of the biggest questions that we all have is we want to be at the highest vibration because at the highest vibration, everything feels good, right? Low vibration is where we're sad. Things are difficult, right? We don't have a good time in that low vibration. Now, this is your lifetime. It's a short line, but let's just say this is many years, 100 years. Let's say you're going to live 100 years, right? Vibration is hard to maintain. And as much as you want to say that you want to be vibrating high or that you're vibrating high, it takes a lot of effort to be here, right? Especially when your mind, you've experienced or you've had a background where you've always seen your parents fighting. You've always, seen violence. You've always been around, you know, depression, poverty, all that. It's going to be at a low vibration. So naturally, this is going to be home to you, right? It's going to feel okay to be here because what I'm trying to tell you, what our programming and what we experience is how we see life. So we look at the eyes. Our eyes are think about it like the camera, or it's how we. It's our, how would you say it? Like our perspective and how we see life, and it's going to be different for everybody because we all go through different things. We all acquire different things growing up. Some of us were able to go to college. Some of us were only made it to some people only made it to middle school, high school, or whatever. Some people made it far, but they haven't figured out really what they want in life. So it's gonna be different for everybody. So the way you see life is the way, or the way you have experienced life, right? Your vision is how we see everything. That kind of creates this program in your head, and your brain connects in many ways in that way. So that's how you, when you sometimes you experience something, you react to it, right? So everybody has a different perspective, and that's one of the things where like people tell me, or when we talk about, is heaven ever going to be brought down to earth? Like, are we ever going to experience heaven here on earth? And I don't think so. We have to be all perfectly aligned with open hearts and with, I mean, with one goal, and that's peace. The funny thing is that we embody both, the bad and the good. It's a struggle between that, right? In our head. Based on what we experience and our emotions, we both embody that. And one of the things is when I tell everybody, like, yeah, there is going to be bad and good. Who do you choose to go when things get tough? Or where do you go? Are you a good type of person, which signifies a problem solver, or do you go into the bad, right? Now, again, being at a high vibration is going to be very, very difficult, okay? Can, can somebody just block the D hogs, please? Karen, can you just block that guy and just get him out? And so when anybody that is not cooperating or anybody that is going to be funny or whatever, just just block them, please. Karen, I think you're a moderator. If anybody else wants to be a moderator, just don't even ask me, just remove people, okay? So anyways, so we have high vibration, neutral, and then low vibration. This is your life. And I know a lot of times I tell you guys to choose high vibration, right? So, but being at a high vibration will get you exhausted, will get you tired. It is impossible to always be happy because we embody, when we came into this world, we have that what is called free will, and that opens up like the kind of like the gate, right? And we're able to choose, and our emotions, it's a mix of a lot of things. Our emotions are going to trigger us in many ways. To be at a high vibration for the rest of your life is going to be impossible, right? It's gonna be really, really hard. And notice that at one point we started, you know, neutral, right? Some of us had to go all the way down to low and realize where we're at to come all the way to neutral and then bring up our vibration to high. It's gonna be impossible, and I'm not saying that it's not doable. I'm just I'm gonna tell you that obviously we're all humans and we all have experienced crazy things. There's gonna be days where you're going to be all the way down over here, right? All the way down over here. And the thing is that there's a reason why, we're at high vibration and low vibration. I feel like low vibration is it's a, a time to, you know, a time to like break everything down and see why we fell here, right? Why are we feeling sad? Why are we being rejected? Why is it life not going our way, right? Why are we sad? Why are we pushing people away? What is the meaning of this? Because if you were to stay at a high vibration, you wouldn't notice the difference between struggle, between, maybe you will understand love, but you wouldn't understand what it was or what it is to feel anger or hate towards someone else, right? And it's good that we have that feeling. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is like life is gonna give you that roller coaster, right? Life is gonna give you that roller coaster, and sometimes, we're gonna end up being here and try to come back over here, and then it's gonna be different, right? Through life. Now, what I'm trying to say is like, although it looks very complicated, right? Very complex, and it looks very complicated on how to be high vibration because it's very difficult to be there because we do have feelings, and a lot of things in this world will trigger us, right? There's things that we don't agree to that we get angry about when it comes to work, when it comes to love, when it comes to family, kids, all that, there's going to be things that are going to bring us down, right? Now, how do you have a choice. You have a choice. And this is life. And this is time. Time does not forgive. Time does not go back. It keeps moving forward regardless how you feel. Right? So, what can you do? Can someone tell me, what do you do when you experience low vibration? Like, what's something that you do when you experience low vibration, when you're here, to bring your vibration back to neutral, or maybe try to bring it up to life? I mean, to high. We choose to be, we choose to blessings, we choose blessings or curses to ourselves and others. Often is when and how we react in situations, right? So you're telling me, yeah, emotions are very important because vibration, vibration is connected to emotion. So how you take something in, when to you it was destructive, but to someone else it was funny, right? We get a different type of feel. Meditate, pray, fast. Success says she prays. Reflect on what is going on during that point in time. Okay, good. So reflection. So low vibration leads to reflection. What does reflection allow you to do? To better yourself, to better your situation, to understand why we ended at a low point in our vibration, right? That's pretty cool because I feel like I'm the same way, and I think it's gonna be pretty normal, right? Like pretty standard for everybody. Everybody has these, but and this is one of the things that I always say when I read tarot is you can choose if you wanted to. You can choose to get comfortable here or here or here and live there. And this is where your perspective of life and your programmation in your head is going to change a lot. And now I'm telling you all this, but there's still something very important we still got to discuss, you know. Yeah, it's going to be hard to, it's easier being at a low vibration, because what is low vibration? Low vibration, there's, if you look at the body, there's 7 chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 chakras, right? The I don't let me see. Let me get this real quick, because the last 3 are the lowest of them. So yeah, we do have a chakra for the reproductive system, right? But these 3 are considered low vibration. Um, and let me see here. So when we choose to go with, let me just tell you one thing. These are higher vibration chakras, right? Which is, and why I say that is because the crown chakra, that is the connection to God, right? That is the direct connection to God, right? To the universe, to source, to all that. So these are like the positive chakras. The third eye, and then we have the heart. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have the heart, which is this one. This is going to be very important. Okay. I know I'm confusing people. You know what I started doing? Try to figure out what the current situation is trying to teach me. See everything as a lesson. Is that reflection? Yes, that is reflection. And I love that you're saying that because, and I think Karen said too, reflection allows us to see our errors. And we're not perfect. We're not perfect, and we're never going to be perfect. As much as you want to be the perfect human being, in someone else's eyes, because I read tarot and I read it with good intentions. I'm a sinner in someone else's eyes, right? And I'm doing that as my perspective, right? Like, or how I feel when it comes to others. And I've been told to my face, that I go against God, but my intentions are good, and I connect to God, and I connect to angels and positivity, right? I think you guys can see that with all the videos I make and everything that I try to be. And I'm not going to say that I'm that, because I try to be in that type of vibration, or it's hard because there's times where I feel low. There's times where I don't know what I'm doing, or there's times where life tests me in ways where like I feel like there's no hope sometimes. When you reflect on situation, you correct the wrong and make it a learning lesson. Then yes, reflection. The seven chakras are Mulandra at the point, pineum, and the space between the anal outer and the right. So what is the chakra? And I'm not saying that they're bad chakras. They're good. You need to align those chakras, align all the chakras, right? But what is the lower chakra? That's your reproductive system, right? Which is connected to like sex. Let's just say connected to sex, right? Um, well, it's ground actually, not. It's the second one that is sex. This one is the last one is how you ground yourself, right? That's the red one. And you're gonna notice if you ever look like at a chakra, like the colors, the lower one is gonna be like red, then orange, and then yellow. So I want to talk about like the main one, which is sex, and what's happening right now in social media, right? Everything, a lot of the things, and you all of you guys have heard sex sells, right? And yeah, you see a sexy dude or a sexy woman, and all of a sudden you have all this attention. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes a good looking person will make you do things that you're not aligned with, but because of that sexual, you know, feeling, you will still do it, right? So when you rely, which is what a lot of people are doing today, on sex and not the connection that we're going to talk about right now, which is the heart. And I know I'm confusing people, right? But again, I am the same way, and this is one of the reasons why, like I want to do this, because maybe I'm not good at explaining this, but someone here will, Rigo, Autumn Moonlight is the moderate on other. Oh, okay, here, let me know if you want to be a moderator, because I need people that is gonna keep this place, safe for everybody, right? Because we're all learning, and the last thing is we want here is some person thinks that they can do whatever they want. Let me just open my chat thingy real quick. because I can do it through the okay, here we go. Okay. So right now a lot of us are focused on this chakra right here, which is the one that is connected to sex. That's why and the thing is that that's what they want to control us. So I'm not saying that they're bad chakras, but these are the lower chakras and this is the lower vibration. I'm trying to say that social media and other programs will trick you to be low vibrational because you're easy to control when you're low vibrational. It's easier to want more and more and more and control you, right? Now, it takes a lot of energy to go low and then come up. Reflection, knowing that your life is not headed the right way, knowing that you're not happy, knowing that things are not working out your way, and there has to be a change. There has to be a change within you. And sometimes we go into what we say maybe in tarot will be like the death. If you want a drastic change in life, you have to grow bigger than this circle. This is you right now. And if you have something where you got to grow from, right? We all evolve, we all, you know, grow up from that. You have to break this little bubble that you're in to create a different you and make a bigger you. Does that make sense? Probably not. Before you're able to change and break from what is not working out for you, there's got to be a change within you. You know, there's that saying that we say, there's that metaphor, the phoenix rising, right? So it's like rebirth, right? Rebirth. So everything that you used to think and you used to do has to change for your life to change. Meaning, even if you're going through cycles, like this is a cycle, right? You want to break this cycle. It's a cycle. Even even if you choose to stop doing what you're doing, but you're not evolving, you're not changing, you're not upgrading yourself or getting better, you're not gonna break the cycle. For you to break the cycle, and we have that metaphor, which is the phoenix rising from the fire. Before the phoenix has to, or before the phoenix goes, before there's even a rebirth, the phoenix has to burn, has to set, and has to burn in the fire, meaning that they're changing, meaning that the fire clears everything, breaks everything down, or just undoes everything in your life. So before the phoenix, flies and rebirths, they have to burn and they have to embrace the fire. And again, that's probably the reflection. It's like my life is not good. I see that, I understand that. And for me to bring my vibration up when it's low, there's gotta be a rebirth. There's gotta be a big change. So embracing the fire is not it. That's not all. Embracing the fire and understanding that there's something wrong with you or there's something wrong in your life, you're not happy, it's not all. Because before the phoenix soars through out of the fire, right? Soar or flies from the fire, they have to push through the coals of the fire. And that is key point because pushing when the phoenix when the phoenix, I don't know how to draw a bird here. When there's a fire, there's skulls, and the phoenix, I don't know. I suck at drawing. The phoenix has to push through the coals out of the fire, and that takes a lot of effort. Not only is the phoenix already burning, but they still have to do the physical work of pushing through the coals, right? Pushing, and that is the will of wanting to survive, wanting to make that change, and you have to. And it's going to be very, very difficult at times, you know, at times to push through the coals. You already know there's a change needed in your life. You already reflected on, you already know that sometimes things that you do, meaning addictions or unhealthy things, are not good for you. You already realize you're already on fire. You're already on fire. But that does not lead to the rebirth or the you know the escape of the fire. And so when you realize and reflect on what's going on, you're already on fire. So you're already here reflecting and saying, okay, I need to go up. Now, the push from the low vibration to neutral or even high vibration is the same push that the phoenix has to do to make way from the coals to rise from the fire. And that's where it's going to take the most work. And that's where the old you has to die. And sometimes that transformation is going to take 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years for you to push those coals out of your way so you can rise up. So what I'm trying to say is, like, don't get discouraged if you've been through difficult times. It takes a certain amount of time to rebirth or get control in your life, right? Now, the phoenix wants to push through the coals, and that's one of the hardest part because the phoenix is already on fire. The phoenix already feels the pressure, right? And now they have to push the coals and fly out of the burning fire, right? Out of the fire into the air. So before the phoenix soars, before the phoenix is worthy of freedom and escape from the fire, they have to do the work of pushing away from the coals or pushing the coals away. Okay. What is what happens when the phoenix pushes the coals, does the work to change their life, to change their outcome, changes their habits, changes their mentality, connects to God or connects to whatever you feel like you're comfortable with, right? No judgment here. What do you think happens, when the phoenix moves the coals? The phoenix flies, the phoenix leaves the fire. What does that mean? It means that the work and the amount of effort you put into you changing yourself, it's a significator or some sort of feeling where you're worthy of being free from the fire or being granted freedom. So what happens to the phoenix? The phoenix evolves, right? The phoenix is still on fire, meaning that whenever you go through life and life puts you down to the ground, could be love, it could be money, finances, whatever. It's a lesson that we're going to carry for the rest of our lives. And so the phoenix flies and is still burning, and it will continue to burn because the phoenix has embraced the fire and it has learned a new way of seeing life, meaning There is no more victim mentality, because if the phoenix was able to push through the coals while burning, that means that the phoenix did the work. That means that the phoenix wanted to change. The phoenix wanted to push and be alive and wanted another chance. And although they still burn, they are worthy of being freed. They're worthy of going anywhere they wanted to, or they have, it's a different aura, it's a different energy for them. Yeah, they're still burning, because we're always going to be burned, because we're always going to, carry that scar. When somebody, hurts our heart, that scar is always going to be there. It's going to heal, but it's always going to be there to remind us that sometimes life is difficult. And sometimes we're going to have situations, events in our lives that are going to shut us down and put us down, but that's not the end. And all you have to do is look back into that scar and say, I've been here before. And life, again, is this. This is life. And with the lessons that you acquire, you're gonna try your best and your hardest to not go so low, right? You're gonna catch yourself. And we're gonna push to be neutral, or we're gonna push to be high. Out of the ashes we shall rise. Of course, I lost both my parents in the process, not dead, but I can't bring them with me. That's very, very deep. Um, we're always being shaped and molded and bring growth to be confirmed and loved up to a higher spirit on land. Um, I don't know. This is my thought of us being human, is that we embody the good and the bad, and you have freedom and you have willpower to choose who or what you want to entertain or how you want to live your life, because God loves you regardless of what you're doing and regardless of what you do here. God is going to love you regardless. And we weren't meant to be at a higher vibration all the time, and there's not one human being ever that is always here. Even the ones that study the Bible, even the ones that are high religious, cannot be here. It's exhausting. It takes a lot of energy to be here. And the higher you are, some people say the higher vibration you are, the 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 bigger your shadow. Like the bigger your light, the bigger your shadow. Why? Because if you try to be in this high vibration, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that don't worry. We all have difficulties in life, and sometimes we're going to experience that. But when your light is so high, your shadow becomes very dark and very big, meaning that you're constantly wanting to do the right thing or the best thing for you or for others. And the darkness and the shadow gets bigger, meaning that you will get exhausted. You will get exhausted to the point of where you want to give up, where you're going to start feeling like, I do everything for others, and sometimes nobody does anything for me. Or when I feel low, you go way down here, way down here. You go even lower when your light is brighter, right? That's something that I'm still trying to, break down, but it kind of makes sense, because as much as I want to do good, sometimes I get disappointed because I am trying to do my best to be a good human being, to be good to everybody. But when it comes to me, and I'm not I am not excluded from what we have here, which is the feelings, the emotions. I am not, even if you want to be positive, you're not excluded, and you're never going to be excluded. You're still going to have dark thoughts, dark secrets in your life. So try to balance yourself in the neutral or the high vibration. There is ways of staying here, but you cannot always be high vibrational. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take a time to, hide and take care of yourself, you know? Now, what in my opinion, what do I do to be at a higher vibration? To maybe say I'm trying to, you know, let's say I'm trying to manifest something into my life, and I want it to be faster. What do I do to stay at a higher vibration? I listen to I listen to happy music. I give that does not look like happy. This I listen to happy music, right? I stay away from social media because social media has a lot of bad things. I always say that. And social media is a big control of you. Social media is gonna brainwash you. Number one, I'm not that type of person that is gonna, tell you like there's all the like they're trying to control, because they are. Like we are being controlled, you know? And the more you see things when it comes to like social media, like maybe there's a lot of sex or a lot of nudity or a lot of drinking, and you guys notice that everything you do nowadays has to do with alcohol. What does alcohol do? Alcohol numbs you. It cuts you from what alcohol does to you. It makes you feel happy, right? And that's why we all drink it. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but if you're doing it every weekend, or if you don't have control over it, then you're in trouble. But what alcohol does, it numbs us, and it gives us this feeling of happiness, right? Happiness, high vibration when we're in alcohol, right? But when the alcohol fades, the body gets depleted. The body has suffered damage due to the alcohol. And so we fall down. We go from a higher vibration, or feeling happy. Our worries are gone for the moment. But as the alcohol leaves, our body starts aching. We get that nasty hangover, and we realize that we're actually lower than where we're at. So what's happening right now is they advertise alcohol. And I'm not saying alcohol is bad. It's just for people that can't hold their alcohol, right? They advertise alcohol in everything. Every game, every sport, it's about alcohol. Everywhere you go, there's alcohol, because that's how they want to control you. Now, when you're on this numb state, what you're essentially telling the universe is that you're not happy being alive. You know, you're not happy being alive. You rather be out of life, out of control, worry free, and that manifests into control of yourself, because you're not in control. Now, I always said this also as well, like, your body is a temple. Your body is a temple. And when you choose to numb yourself and step out of your temple, say this is you in spirit form, right? And you step out of your temple because you can't deal with life, and you rather numb yourself and get high, or do something else. You step out of your temple, this chariot that we have, this body, you know what's going to happen? You're leaving your sacred space. You're leaving your body, and what's going to happen? We call this demons. They're going to take control of your body. Demons are depression, alcohol, victim mentality, anything that is negative. Are they real demons? I honestly don't think they're real demons. I honestly think that's what we create. We give power to this thought in our head that we're not good enough. We give power to that one thought in our head that where we agree to, like, we're just trash. We're not going to do good. We're not smart enough. We're not worthy enough. Those are the demons that we create ourselves because that's how we see ourselves. I know a lot of you don't, that's not really, some of you guys don't have issues. I get it, right? But those are the demons we create. And as we continue to feed the demons, as we continue to do the low vibrational shit, as we continue to, feed the depression, um, and the drugs and the alcohol and the sex and everything that has, like the devil, has to offer, we create them bigger. What happens when you create a big demon, or you make a thought? Maybe at one point it was made from like a little pebble and now it's a huge rock. It's going to be hard to remove that from your life. It's going to take you so much more to remove that. You could. And that, that when people say, oh yeah, I gotta slay some demons, I gotta cut this out of my life, that's what they mean. It's like they gave energy and power to something negative that they lost control of, and now that negative thing has embodied them, and they believe that that's who they are, or that's what they're meant to be. I've had conversations with people who are alcoholics and people who are, druggies, and people who are homeless, and they say, I'm never going to change. This is me. I was born for this. And that's when the demon has won. That thought is implemented in their head. And anything they try to create, anything that they try to make in their life, is going to be ruled by this first. Is going to have to go through this first. Meaning, if there's something positive, if there's salvation, if there's the light here, they have to go through this to get to here, and they're not going to be able to, because this is way bigger, heavier, stronger than this. So don't feed your demons, is what I'm trying to say. I want to fast to get closer to God, clear intentions on life. If I didn't grab onto Saint and God, I wouldn't have gone out of drugs, being homeless. I've gone to, like my experience, the way everything happened to me, the way that, I started reading tarot. I wanted to be a positive influence in life. Um, it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up. But this is this is why we're talking about hitting rock bottom. Because when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way, and that's bouncing back up, right? I had a near-death experience once, and um, I remember. I don't want to go into the details because I don't want you guys to see me different, but it was kind of a, like, it was a near-death experience. So when I was experiencing death or dying, I saw myself going down this hole. deep hole, right? It's kind of like a well, like a well. Think about a well, where there's water here and people get water from there, right? I was I was falling down. So I think I had in this at this point I was already gone. Like I was already passed out there, you know. And I saw myself falling down, and it was like, the feeling was real, like it was happening for reals. I felt like I was falling down really fast, and I remember falling down, and somewhere around the middle, somehow I did a flip and I hit my ankle on 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 that fall, and I heard a pop, and I felt like it broke. And I kept falling and falling and falling, and I never hit the bottom. I never did, but I just kept falling, and then it just went to black. To this day, that same ankle pops. I don't know why. And every time my ankle pops, it reminds me of this experience. Now, this went away, right? Everything went pitch black. And then I saw myself, I saw my body. I suck at drawing. I saw my body, right? And I was looking this way. And it was like this perspective where I was like sitting here, but I was over there, right? And I was walking. My actual my back was pointing back towards me, and I was seeing myself walking into this darkness, kind of like the universe, but no stars. Just everywhere I looked, I remember that it was weird because it was like a third person, but at the same time, like I was in my body still. So I was able to shift between outer and inner body, perspectives. And I would look around, and it was just a sphere, endless, pitch dark. And I'm like, where am I? Out of nowhere, out of nowhere, this cloud, this energy, this little ball that looked like a star started walking with me in the darkness, and we started walking forward. And obviously there's nothing there. It's all dark. It's all dark. So there's no light, there's nothing. And the only light that there is, or there was, it was this little star. This little, it was, think about it as a ball of, maybe similar to, like, well, yeah, like an energy, right? When you see a light in the pitch dark, is, it's bright. Or maybe think about it as a ball of cotton, fluffy. And I started walking, and there was nothing said. Nothing was said. We didn't. There was no words. We just kept walking forward, and I remember coming eh, you know, out of my body, this perspective, because I was able to see the ball up close, walking right next to me. But I was also seeing myself from a different perspective from the back. And I just kept walking, and the ball was next to me. Nothing was said. Um, and I woke up. I woke up after this dream, after this vision, after all this. I woke up. And as soon as I woke up, I started crying. Not because I was sad, but I was crying because of happiness, because I was so glad and because of how intense and beautiful this energy that I experienced was. I know, I know that we're energy. I know that, you know, we're just here for, a short period of time in this world, but this is our opportunity. Life is never an obligation. We chose to be here. For people that are suffering, from like depression, suicidal thoughts, and stuff like that, and I always, try to include them because it's a very strong battle. That's not the answer. You chose to be here, so don't give up. Everything gets better. I got a second opportunity. I got another chance at life, and I got to experience this amazing energy that is unexplainable, but it's nothing but love, nothing but just amazing, 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 beautiful energy. It's white, it's powerful, it's beautiful, and it turned my entire life around. It pushed me to be a motivator, to be positive, to show love to those who I couldn't show love in the past, to forgive, to move on, and to empower myself. It also gave me self-worth of the people that were taking advantage of me. But before I had to do all that, I came back to my human form, right? So this is me. I'm back. I woke up. I'm alive. I'm alive. Yay. I woke up. I'm alive. I didn't die. I can see I can see everybody again, you know? I get another chance. I'm blessed. Every day I wake up, I'm blessed. The thing is, when I woke up after experiencing all this, my physical body was already programmed one way. What way was that? A way of all my memories, my addictions were still there. I wasn't saved and I'm like, oh, I'm a different person. No. For me to embrace the new me, and we go back to the phoenix, rising from the ashes and burning, I had to do a lot of work to change myself and my life and vibrate higher or different or look at the positive in life and embrace my second chance. But it didn't happen overnight. Why? Because this world is very physical. So what I had in my brain, my thoughts, my addictions were still there. So it was that battle of needing to change myself, needing to focus on me, because at one point this is gonna sound bad, but I feel like I have to say it, because if I don't say it, then what am I doing, right? I, at one point, I even said, God is not real. I don't believe, you know. And I think at one point I even challenged God, and it got me here. And it's not that God got me here; it's that where I was headed got me here. Who I was here in my head got me to this point where I had that. I almost died, but I got a second chance, and now it was me changing and evolving to a bigger, better, stronger person. Because every time I get into the low vibration, I remember this. And that pushes me and tells me that I've been there before and I can do better for myself. And why not for others as well? You know, that's what changed me. That's what gave me, that's who made me. This looks kind of scary. Let me just make a better face. That still looks scary. I don't know how to draw, but that's what created me. That's what made me change. And that's where I got my opportunity to be here, to see my son grow, to experience my mom and my dad's. We all have, unfortunately, we all have a time, you know, or a clock that is ticking. And as much as you love someone, and as much as you want that person to be here for the rest of your life, they might not be here. And the passing of my puppy got me thinking a lot. And we all gonna experience seeing our parents transition. But what is the transition? The transition is us going from, what is the transition? Transition is us going from human form to energy form. The soul, the body, and the mind. Oops. Sorry, I can't write good when it's like soul, mind, and body. Right? A lot of people, a lot of people think that they can manipulate life. A lot of people think that they can do a spell and use energy to create some sort of thing, an outcome or whatever, you know. And that's perfectly natural because we are energy. We are soul. And it makes sense that we feel strong, we feel powerful, we feel energetic, right? Because originally we are soul. So it feels natural, right? We pick up on intuition, we have those abilities, right, that nobody can explain. Our brains store memories from childhood, from yesterday, from happy times, from, from bad times as well. But how do you think we're flesh? How do you think those memories are stored? It's energy, it's electricity. How do you think you move your arm? It's energy, it's electricity, right? We are energy. How do you think you get those dance moves? How do you think you move that, perreo, perreo? And how do you think you get down in the dance floor? It's all energy. Now, soul, mind, and body, that's very important. The thing is here, the thing is that we do have a soul, and the soul, we're a whole different person, or not necessarily person, but we're energy, right? And there's things that the soul, we're here. Think about it as a remote person, right? And this is you. The thing is that there's always going to be conflict between what the soul wants, because the soul was who you are, or is who you are, and why you chose to be here in this world. The mind is gonna create conflict, because the mind is created every day, meaning like your beliefs, meaning like what you experience, you know it's conflict between the soul and the mind. And we have the body that can also get addicted to other things, right? The body can get lazy. The body can tell you, I want fries today. I don't want no healthy salad. I want burger. I want this. I want beer. I want to drink beer. I want drugs. I want this. The body can get addicted too. So there's conflict between the body and the mind as well. Why do we say that we have to align between, the soul, mind, and body? And it's hard. It's a hard thing, it's a hard, it takes a lot of work, you know. One of the, I think we're not going to be able to align the body, the mind, and the soul without opening the heart. We said the crown chakra is the connection to the soul as well as to God. But that bridge can only be established by you. And that bridge is only formed when you open up your heart. Jesus Christ is the heart. Um, Forgiveness, love, compassion, all that you need to experience. When you block your heart, you're going off of the mind because you experience, wait, yeah, that's the mind. Because you experience really bad things that you no longer want to use your heart. You say, I no longer have love. So F the world, F that ex, F that person, F love. And now you're going to go based on the mind. And again, the mind's perspective is what you see, right? It's what you see, it's what your eyes see, right? That's the only way to understand the mind. Is the mind gets formed based on what you experience or what you see. So it becomes even more difficult to align with God when you kick out the heart. Okay? That connection is not going to be there. Now, when you block out the heart, um, but when you block out the heart, your brain is going to start telling you things. Your intuition is going to go away. You're going to think, oh, I'm still intuitive. I'm getting little voices that say, F this person. They don't want anything good or whatever, whatever. But that's your creation based on the mind. Now, the mind has control over you. The only way to access God is through the heart. Through the heart. There's no other way. You have to heal. You have to let go. You are not going to be the same. When you go through difficult times, you will never be the same. But that is the whole point, is for you to change, is to not be the same person, to be a better person. And nowadays, we have people that encourage others, when it comes to man. In my perspective and in my social media is like, men empower each other by saying, fuck these hoes. All these women that want everything, they have like 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, and they still think they're the shit, right? Same thing with the woman. They empower each other. They say, F man, losers, blah, blah, blah. They're unstable. They drink too much. And yeah, there's a lot of men that have issues out there. You will get lost if you do not focus on your heart. You can live a life, you can live a life There's a fly here. You can live a life. You can live a life of 100 years, and if you're lost, you're always gonna feel lost. The only way for you to understand really who we are and what we're meant to be here, you know, is to not necessarily be good to everybody or have love for everyone. Sorry, I'm trying to draw this. That even looks worse. The only way is for you to work on your heart, right? To allow, the only thing you have to do is allow source, allow the universe, allow God to come through here. Open up your heart. Once you allow God, Jesus Christ, or the universe, or earth, whatever you believe, and that's when you're going to create this bridge to source. I never trust somebody that is brokenhearted and thinks they're a healer. Why? Because they're battling something. They're battling a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm healed, like I work on myself all the time, right? But somebody who's bitter, someone who the way they express themselves and the way they hate on other people, you kind of think, you start thinking, what are you telling me? What are you teaching me? You know, what are you showing? A lost, a lost soul, a lost soul, meaning that you're not aligned yourself here physically. It's not aligned with your soul, and that's when we say lost soul, right? We don't have that connection. I'm gonna tell you one thing. You can do a lot of self-love, right? You can say, F this, I'm not gonna look for love. I'm gonna do self-love. I want to be alone for the rest of my life. A lot of self-love, and that's being comfortable. You're choosing to be comfortable in that vibration of self-love and isolation. That's okay. We are here, and God made us. We are a man and woman, and we are meant to coexist with each other for a for a successful connection in life. We have to be aligned and get close together to create the two will become one, right? For us to find the connection or the bridge between us to the soul and or heal your soul, you're not going to be able to do it. Self-love in the present moment here in this physical world is just going to be you spoiling yourself, you finding calmness, you finding peace in your room and that. But to fix and align us, it can only be done by a higher power. It cannot be done by you, cannot be done by someone else. You have to allow the higher power to come to you, to align you back to your soul. You have to want it. We are stuck in this world where, at least this is what I think. We are stuck in this world where we all go through the same rules. Same rules. The only person the only person character that I know of that has able to bend those rules, which is age, which is lust, love, all that was Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ. It's the only person or human that was able to bend those rules. No one else is able to. I don't care if you're the Pope. I don't care if you're a leader of a church. I don't care if you think you are a healer and you're, or whatever. All the rules apply to you. All the feelings, everything that I feel is going to apply to you. It's not going to be the same because my the way I was brought up into this world, the way that I grew up with a family that lives. I was born in Mexico, and we weren't rich. We didn't have anything available. We have a farm. My dad has a farm. He still farms. He has animals, and I come from that background where it was very difficult for me. And it's the way I see life, especially me being a child and all that, is much different than somebody that grew up with a lot of things, right? Or in a different country where nobody sees animals or farms, whatever. Maybe you grew up in the city, for you it was way different, You have to you have to heal your heart to be able to connect to your soul. That is the only way. And that's why I always say heart is very important. And no, you don't have to be soft. You don't have to be soft. You don't have to let people run you over because you don't want to retaliate or none of that. Stand up for yourself. Give yourself worth. It's one of the main things as well, is like you have to understand that you are an image of, you know, God. So you're worthy of having a lot. The thing is that they want to keep you trapped in this low vibration. So you don't get up here and realize that there's more to life. And now you want to break free from that. They don't want you to realize that. They want you to be here. Low vibration. What cancels out the heart? Again, drugs, alcohol, all sex addictions, you know. This is a mess. I made a mess here. Um, but yeah, I guess this for now, this is gonna be it. Like this is all I have to say. I mean, at least this is what I understand, and this is what I feel, and this is what I've experienced. Is like once you allow, God into your life, and I'm not trying to be all religious or like pick up a Bible. Like I'm not trying to be like that. But regardless of who you are and what you want to do in life, life is gonna be very different for you. A lot of people are gonna have success, and it's going to make you feel like you don't have enough, but that's not the point. We did not come into this life to be rich. The goal was not to acquire a lot of money. The goal was not to, you know have a humongous house or be a successful businessman. That was not the goal. Those are goals implemented by ourselves with ambition and sometimes lust. you know There's a saying that when you align to God, or when you embrace God, things will start changing for you, you know? And that's what I'm trying to say here, is like connect and allow God to be in your life. Every person here, and the funny thing is, as humans, and this is why I always say, like, your vision and what you experience is your perspective of life, because you do not understand. Like, you can have a really hard time, you can be very depressed or very, low vibrational. But once you see that someone has it harder than you, then for some reason you're like, oh my God, I thought I was having a bad time. I thought I was, you know, deep down even worse, but someone else has it more difficult. Someone did not eat for the last 2 days, you know? Someone doesn't have a home somewhere. Someone doesn't even have water to drink somewhere. And here you are feeling like a victim, feeling like you have no resources, nothing, when all you have to do is put a step forward and create that opportunity for yourself. To me, life without Father God, Son of God Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is death. Yes, very good. I like that. I grew up in farms, 500 acres to 800 acres, and in the city. Okay, so you have a lot of, you have this broad perspective. Me too, Durango, Mexico, but wasn't raised there. Okay, that's what's up. Oh yeah, I think I passed through Durango, Mexico once. Um, there is life is. I always say, that saying that I always say. And sorry that my drawings are suck. Life. Remember, have you guys ever hear me say life is 360 when it comes to, when I'm reading tarot? Life is 360. Life goes. Sorry, I'm trying to. These are arrows, okay? Life goes pretty much anyway. It doesn't matter. Life goes anywhere you want it to be. Life is 360. Let me ask you this question. Where do you want your life to go? Do you have a vision? Here, do you have a vision? Because the vision creates the journey. The vision creates the path. Where is your vision? Where is your vision? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? Life is 360. You can go back and mess up. You can go back into a cycle that was not good for you, because life will give you that. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do is the question. When you listen to a lot of tarot, this is going to suck, but when you listen to a lot of tarot, you're picking up things. You're putting things in your head, whether they're negative or whether they're positive. I don't think divination is the devil, but I definitely think divination will prevent you from truly following your heart. Man, these hearts are not pretty. I promise you. Well, no, I'm not going to promise you anything, but I suck at drawing. Tarot will prevent you from following your heart. Why? Because life is 360. And when you hear a tarot reader, especially on the general reading, and I know this is what I do here on YouTube, and I want to be very, very clear to you, and I want you to, if you can, stop reading tarot or stop, watching tarot. And I'm gonna do my best to make this a channel where it's positive, but it is what it is. When you listen to tarot, whether it's positive or negative, you're letting tarot choose your path for you. Choose that path for you. And it's no longer what you wanted, is what tarot is telling you. Is what tarot's telling you. Why do I say that? Because you can say, Rigo, there's readings where I'm like, F this. That's not my reading. That's not my reading. Da, 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 da. But you're listening to it. It's happening. It's being recorded by your brain. Your eyes are picking it up and it's being recorded in your brain. And what's going to happen when you encounter a similar situation that maybe wasn't even about the reading wasn't about you or anything, but what's it going to do? You're going to say, oh, that's why that tarot reader said this or whatever. Or yeah, I remember this. Sometimes you have to choose what you want. Sometimes you have to heal the heart. Sometimes you have to, and not have to, sometimes you just need to allow source to come into you and heal that soul, because nobody will be able to heal your soul. Not you. Obviously not you, because if you're saying your soul is lost, if you're saying your soul or your soul is broken, you're not going to be able to fix it yourself. You need the higher power. And there's a verse in the Bible where it says, only, only the higher power, only God can realign you to your soul. And I'm not saying, like, listen, I read tarot and I read the Bible too. Whoa, we live in a world and we're evolving as humans, and our brains are becoming more powerful, and we're intaking so much information, and technology is getting us there. And if you're going to come here and judge me based on what I'm telling you, and or based because I'm reading tarot and I'm also deciphering the Bible here and talking about, I've always said since I started the channel, whatever works for you, as far as if it's positive, then go with it. If you're spiritual, if you're Christian, if you're Catholic, it doesn't matter what group you choose to be around. What's most important and the main thing is that you have to allow the higher power to come into your heart. You have to allow God to be with you, to be in your life. Because a group of people that tell you that everything's going to be fine, that they're going to pray for you, doesn't mean anything if you don't allow it. Doesn't mean anything if you don't believe and have faith. This is like, life is so complex, and the more we go in life, the more we discover things. What you see, what I've been telling you, what your eyes see, that's your depiction of life. The funny thing is that the eyes do not see everything. Your eyes don't see all the colors of the spectrum. Your eyes don't, there's things that are within us that we can't see. So just so you know, as we evolve, we learn more, we discover more, and it becomes a little bit more confusing. And how you are going to knock that confusion out of your head, or out of your, that doubt and all that, is by trusting in the higher power. To me is God. To me, God does not, and this is how I'm gonna finalize this, because this is personal to me, and I'm not saying that this is based on anything or whatever. This is based on my experience, and I already explained my my near death experience and what I saw, and I enjoyed it as best as I could. Well, not as best as I could, but I gave a drawing of it. So if you're curious, go back and see. Um, what was I gonna say? Um, you know, like I said, I'm in that Bible study group, and there's people in different religions, different ethnicities. No judgment, right? We're just reading through it. And I noticed one of my friends, or a couple of my friends, were saying, he he wants us to be this way. He wants us, he wants peace for us. And I'm like, who is he? And they're like, oh, that's God. I get it. And I had to Google this because, you know, he, what we call in the Bible, we say father. We say father. So father it's male, right? And obviously it'll be a he, right? And to me, to me, he, to me is no, because to me, God, source is this. Think about it. It's just an example. This is how I feel based on my experience, and you're gonna have a different belief. And again, I'm not trying to push you away from. As long as you have that connection to source, to God, to Father, you know, think this is how I'm gonna picture it. How I feel that God is. God is not male or female, but God is energy. Is where everything is created. Our little tiny soul, which is that little speck, is connected and aligned to God. And it's all this humongous ball of energy. Okay? That's how I see. This little speck is that's my soul, that's my energy. That's, you could say that's me, but it's not really me because I'm part of the Almighty, the all creation here, the universe. I'm part of the earth, I'm part of the animals, I'm part of the stars, I'm part of the ethers, I'm part of everything. Every molecule in my body was created by this. And that little tiny speck comes here. Earth, you. Allowed God, allowed Jesus, allowed. They say Jesus is the only way through to God. And Jesus is the heart. Jesus is the heart. So you got to allow and heal the heart to allow this, to allow the higher power, God, to align you back with yourself. Okay. What? Okay. Tarot, water, and tarot, what, like water are emotions, the cups, right? we'll just leave that for someone. We'll leave that for another. I have to go because I gotta go talk to my son real quick. I got a text from my sister, and I gotta go see what my son is doing. But um, interesting conversation, and I'm sure there's a lot of people having different experience, and I'm sure that you have your own, and what it doesn't matter what it is. I want you to understand that if you believe and you have faith, then you're gonna be good. There's gonna be another opportunity for you, and we'll talk more as we grow and we understand really what this life is. If you wanted to know what the purpose of life is for you to live life, is for you to experience life. You're not here to save the world. I'm not trying to discourage you, but do what you feel deep down in your bones and your heart that you're supposed to do, and go for that. And through life and through the journey, you're gonna learn. You're gonna have falls, and you're gonna, you know, change your path in many ways. But aligned with God and or source, you'll be fine. Purpose is the purpose of life is just to live and experience the good and the bad. And don't be scared when things get really bad. It's just a it's just a time, but it also signifies there's big changes coming up ahead, and you have to be strong, and you have to be, you know, and you have to be willing to thrive. That's why we're here. That's what life is. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much. I'll probably come back later, read some tarot or whatever. But thank you so much for Sorry I wasn't able to read you guys' comments. I feel like this will be like a 10-hour live if I was to go through everybody's comments here. But you guys are amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. People that posted positive things, and people that express how they feel, and showed interaction in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, remember that life starts with love. I can't do it. Life starts with love. Remember that. That's why I draw like really weird looking hearts, because look at the heart. Look at the heart I do with my hands. It should be like this. I don't know. But life starts with love. So I'll talk to y'all later. What's up, Joe? How are you? Travis, thank you so much for being here. Susette, Karen, Marlita, everybody, Medeline. And we're gonna have more discussions, and I'm gonna choose a topic, and if you guys want to be part of it, again, give your perspective, give your 2 cents, give your knowledge, and we'll break it down. Okay. Again, tarot will continue, the channel will continue, but this is for you to get better, not for you to get stuck. Okay. So if this is where we part ways because you choose not to, you know, listen to tarot or follow tarot, then God bless. And I wish you the best. But if if you're going to come back and when we talk about this, then welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you. A lot of love. Bye, y'all.